Hello, guys. Welcome, everybody, to Purple Blaze Podcast. I'm your host who bleeds purple and gold, Isaac here. Vikings improved to 7-8. They squeak off a win against the New York, previously 2-12, now 2-13 New York Giants. 16-13 is the final score. Oh man, this was a tough game to swallow, man. I will tell you that a really murky game overall, but I guess a win is still a win, but there were still multiple problems and issues that the Vikings have had for the first what was been happening for the Vikings for the first 12 games. Okay, let's go down them. The defense, they don't deserve any blame for why it was even a game. The wide receivers, drop pass after drop pass after drop pass. I counted five drop passes, 4 or 5 drop passes. I don't know the exact number, but it felt like it was more than that. But Justin Jefferson had a drop pass. Jordan Addison, I don't even know what happened to this guy, but it feels like he's no better than TJ Hawkinson. I feel like he's the same exact person as TJ Hawkinson. There's every game he has a drop. He had a drop touchdown pass, which should have been a touchdown instead of a field goal, but you can't be dropping passes. This dude, I don't know what happened to him. He looks like the second coming of Laquan Treadwell, dude. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but I would say give him another year so he can figure out himself and get better. And also Jalen Naylor, even he had 2 drop passes. One of them turned into an interception by J.J. McCarthy, and the second one, he dropped a touchdown pass. He was lucky to get away with the pick 6 because the Giants had a penalty. So, Jalen Naylor was lucky that it was not a pick 6. Otherwise, the Giants would have won that game if that did not happen. So unacceptable. Drop passes. And, the offensive line, was a bit murky at times. Could not protect the quarterback sometimes. It was just kind of a mess with quarterback. Brian O'Neill had a bad day, too. Unacceptable, man. Whiffed on a block in the 2-minute offense. You can't be doing that, dude. That's what led to a touchdown by the Giants. You can't do that. But there's also another person I want to blame for that too, and it doesn't really surprise me to say the very least, but it's absolutely crushing too at the same time, is Kevin O'Connell in the 2-minute offense. So in running, after the Vikings ran the ball to basically bleed the clock down to 20 seconds, instead of just running the football, Kevin O'Connell could not help himself and instead did a shotgun pass where Brian O'Neill whiffs on the block, and instead of taking the points, you were close to field goal range. Instead of having the worst case scenario happen, you should have taken the points. You were up 13-3, take the points to go up 16-3. Instead, you did a shotgun pass. Brian O'Neill apparently whips on his block, hits J.J. McCarthy. Brian Burns hits J.J. McCarthy for the fumble that goes back to the house for 7 in favor of the Giants. And at that point, you made it a game for no reason. The Vikings were dominating the Giants at that point. Even with the drop passes, the Vikings were absolutely doing whatever they wanted against that team, and You let him back in the game for no reason. And not only did you make a bad play call that gave the Giants life, you hurt your quarterback too. You can't, it's another thing to have a bad play call that ends up in disaster. It's another thing to hurt your players like that, especially your young quarterback whom you're trying to develop. You cannot be doing that, which is what I've been saying. He has been calling great games the last 2 games, but this game just basically sealed your fate. And I was going to say maybe Kevin O'Connell might be figuring out. I don't know. We'll have to see. But you just reverted back. You backslid. And you intentionally got your player hurt. And if you're doing that, why is he even on the field? Like, you might as well just have knelt the ball if you were going to do. Or you might as well just handed the Giants the ball and just did that if you were going to do that. That's essentially what you did. So, unacceptable play call by Kevin O'Connell. And that just seals the fate of if he should be head coach next year, because he should not. The Vikings need to look for a new head coach. Unacceptable to be doing that to your young rookie quarterback, man. Really unacceptable. He was playing so good. And I can't even talk about it because of what you did. That's the thing. But that aside for now, let's talk about the positives and how they won the game. This ugly game that was. Aaron Jones was a stud, 28 for 85. He's been great. I mean, I used to think, oh, well, he's not going to be the same. This year, they should just run the ball with Jordan Mason. No, Aaron Jones still has it in him. And he's like 30 years old or something like that? He's still got it. He's still incredible. So, Justin Jefferson had a bit of an off day, dropped a pass. He was off a bit, but I thought he still played pretty well. Had a big 3rd and 17 conversion. Still had a big time conversion. He was still great. He had 6 for 85. Probably the best receiver on the team on yesterday's game, which is crazy to say. Even Josh Oliver had a pretty decent game himself. Had a touchdown. The defense shut the Giants down, and the biggest reason why they won. The Vikings only held the Giants, I would say, based upon both interceptions, the Vikings only allowed just 3 points. They only allowed 3. They were great. They only allowed 141 total yards to the Giants. The Giants only netted 13 passing yards total in that game. Just 13. So, I mean, the pass defense was great. Andrew Van Ginkel with the sack. He still has it in him. Still should keep him. Jalen Redmond has been outplaying Jonathan Allen and Ja'Marr Green. It's a crime that he is getting less snaps than those guys. It is a crime that this should be happening. He is a very important piece of the Vikings because it can't just be number 61. It needs to be somebody else with Jalen Redmond, but it feels like even when the Vikings lose, Jalen Redmond's making big plays, like either a sack, a TFL, every other game. He is outplaying Jalen Redmond. Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave with less snaps by miles, and it is not close. So Jalen Redmond, you need to extend him and keep him on this team. Byron Murphy Jr. had an interception. Finally, we have something going for Byron Murphy. Not that they should keep him or anything, but we finally got a Byron Murphy sighting for an interception. Let's see what Isaiah Rodgers had a huge tackle on a big play. He was not too bad in pass coverage either. The pass coverage by the Vikings was really, really good. I will give you credit. And Jonathan Allen had a big play too. Got to give him credit where credit is due for Jonathan Allen. But they should still cut him. And alongside with Javon Hargrave, the two free agents that they signed never worked out. And Will Reichard was still Mr. Perfect. Extend this man now. Extend him. So Will Reichard has been Mr. Perfect. Vikings are 7-8 now. Oh yeah, wait, I forgot to mention one player also. Max Brosmer. Can't forget about Max Brosmer. He did just enough to where the Vikings could win. So hopefully he shows some more promise during the Lions game and that his confidence is not completely shot. But I thought he did. I thought he held up the fort pretty well when JJ McCarthy got hurt. Other than that, in conclusion, Kevin O'Connell basically sabotaged what could have been a dominant win by the Vikings and some probably light at the end of the tunnel with this head coach to say maybe he doesn't need to be fired at all. Maybe he can stay as the head coach, but you reverted back to your old way, and it's not surprising. It is not a surprise. I am not surprised by that whatsoever, but man, this one was a hard pill to swallow, man, with all the injuries. I mean, Ryan Kelly got a concussion, Jordan Mason, now JJ McCarthy. I mean, hopefully it's not too serious with JJ McCarthy. It looks like his hand or something like that. It's a bit concerning, but we will have to see on his update. But to kill your quarterback, there is no reason for that whatsoever. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also, happy holidays.